The great sports march on ESPN. All this plus the ESPYs on March 4th on ESPN.
This is light.
Pringles light. Those are great. Wow!
These are light?
Give me more!
Wait. Let's put Pringles Light up against these bag chips. There's 25% less fat in Pringles than in these.
You're talking my language.
And they're a lot less greasy. A lot less.
That's great.
Fantastic. These are great.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
But I don't have to.
Third is Bruce Larson, a winner in every class of professional drag racing. In the most recent event at ATCO, New Jersey, the Pennsylvania driver triumphed, turning the Larson-Don Garlett super team into instant title contenders. Second is North Carolina's Doug Herbert, the defending champion, who began the year slowly, then won at Bristol and finished second at ATCO. Leading the pack is Pontiac Jack Ostrander. The Michigan bowling alley owner turned racer ended a 6-year drought with a win at Leicester, New York. 5 men, 5 championship dreams. The winner today in Nebraska will take the lead in the run for the IHRA championship. ESPN, the world leader in motorsports, presents Speed World. Tiny Scribner, Nebraska, a farm community on the state's east coast, as the locals say, is the home of the International Hot Rod Association's Snap-on Tools Mid-America Nationals.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Barsha. Welcome to the longest and most durable drag strip on the planet. In these days of Pentagon cutbacks, the Nebraska Motorplex stands as a shining example of what can be done with former military facilities.
Just 23 years of age, the points leader in alcohol funny car, Todd Payton.
The Canadian is on a roll with this run, trying to dip into the 5s, but settles for a 6:13. That's a new track record, Bob, 231 miles per hour.
He'll be the man to beat in alcohol funny cars. Of course, no night of fire would be complete without the Jet Cars, Jet Dragsters here at the Nebraska Motorplex. Bill Lutz in Damn Yankee racing Dennis Roslansky in Crossfire, and a great time was had by all. Fireworks, a fitting end to this 3M Scotchgard Automotive Protectors Night of Fire, but the fireworks are just beginning. ESPN Speed World coverage of the IHRA Snap-on Tools Mid-America Nationals is brought to you by new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. By the more than 700 Autozone stores across America. Autozone, the right parts at the right price. And by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your bud. We'll be back with the upset of the day. Stay with us.
Guess what motor oil gives you unbeatable wear protection? Give them a clue, Bert. Quaker State. What motor oil is unsurpassed in preventing sludge buildup?
Quaker State
Now, guess what motor oil Bert uses?
Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Good guess.
Over 1 million people each week walk into AutoZone, and taking care of them means having what they need when they need it. That means stocking a lot of parts for a lot of cars. Now, nobody can stock everything, but we stock more than most. And how do we know which ones to carry? That's easy. We listen to our customers, because nobody knows better about what you want than you. So the next time you walk through that door, you might think of yourself as a customer, but we think of you as the boss.
This week, the PBA's big guns shoot for the pins at the Greater Harrisburg Open. Then it's into the ring for a heavyweight battle as Orland Norris dukes it out with Timber Jack Basting. Knockdown Thursday, ESPN. Hey!
seems to be taking over from the supercharged alcohol burning technology that once split the Pro Modified class. Here comes Pat Moore, the number 7 qualifier out of Kinsman, Ohio. He's sponsored by NBA great Larry Nance of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here is his opponent, the man Brett Kepner was just talking about, Carl Moyer from Ankeny, Iowa.
Moyer's been running the IHRA trail for a long time, owns a huge Chevrolet dealership, and helps sponsor some of these race cars.
Had a look at Larry Nance there, getting his man Pat Moore lined up. Now they are launched. Good advantage for Pat Moore, but it looks like he's going to be run down by Moyer.
Moyer a 674, 204 miles per hour. Moore did a great job with a 4:14 reaction time, but it wasn't quite enough.
Here's Ed Hoover, one of the pioneers in this class we haven't seen in some time here on ESPN from Gilbert, South Carolina. He is the defending Scribner champion. His opponent, Brian Gamm from Lucasville, Ohio, who beat number 3 in points, Pete Williams, in the first round.
You know, both these guys qualified number 3 and 6. Both these guys running very small engines for this class. 638 cubic inches for Hoover, 632 for Brian Gamm. They'll have to get the motors bigger if they're going to stay in the top of the field.
Both cars come to the staging position, taking a long time doing it as well. Now they're set, and a red light for Gamm.
Well, that tucks it away. Gamm pushed it to a 319. 400's a perfect bulb, so a considerably strong red light. Hoover with a 678, top speed of the 5.
So here are the matchups for the semifinals in Pro Mod. Scotty Cannon and Tim McAmis in a battle of former champions. Carl Moyer will take on Ed Hoover. We'll be back for our first look today at alcohol funny cars when we return to Scribner, Nebraska.
What is a mountain man's natural environment? Let's explore. A mountain man enjoys peaceful surroundings. A place where gentle winds blow. And the beauty of nature is all about. Only here does the mountain man find true happiness. With a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find out how the true mountain man can make any environment a more natural one.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now, announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them. I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Split fire. At $5.99, America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I'm saving at least $3 to $4 a week.
I use lower octane now. It seems like it runs like I had the premium in there.
I'm probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves basically in the first 6 months you own them.
Split fire. It only costs more till you use it. Get guaranteed split fire benefits for all gasoline engines at leading automotive stores nationwide.
We are back at the Nebraska Motorplex out in the cornfields of what the locals call the East Coast of Nebraska, not far from the Missouri River. Bob Varsha, Ted Jones, and Brett Kepner with you. We're ready for semifinal action in Pro Stock. Our first matchup, the surprise of the weekend thus far, Mark Thomas, who beat Roy Hill in the previous round. He'll be going up against Floyd Cheek out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, a finalist at the Empire Nationals in Leicester, New York earlier this year.
Cheek, a former world champion, running that huge 786 cubic inch Ford. Not the fastest Ford, though, against Thomas's Oldsmobile-equipped Cutlass.
Thomas once again gets away cleanly, but they're side by side at half track. This is close.
Incredible. Too close to call almost. Mark Thomas, a 7:17. We've got to look at this again. 192, a 4:44 reaction time for the winner, a 4:56 for the loser. Now watch him as we go down toward the finish line. He had a 7:17 winning time, a 7:16 with a 3 losing time. It's going to compute out to only 1/1000th of a second. At our half-track cam, we can take a look, and they look dead even, going right across the 8-mile mark as we get to the finish line. This is what 1/1000th of a second looks like.
It stuck good. You know, I felt the front end carrying like halfway through the race. It was still up in the air, but it was only maybe a foot or so off the ground for hundreds of feet. I don't know how long it went, but God, I saw him for a second there, and right when we went over the finish line, I thought I had him. And came out here, and thank God we got him.
It's been an emotional week for Richard Langston, and it's not over yet. It'll be Langston against Foxworth in the Top Fuel final. Langston to have lane choice against his opponent. We'll be back with all of the finals from the Nebraska Motorplex. Stay with us for more from the IHRA Snap-on Tools Mid-America Nationals.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
John, how you doing? You know, Autozone customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains in doing a job just right. So they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts. And also why we price them so low every day of the week. Because you gotta admire a guy who'll tackle a job like putting in a starter, a water pump, a rack and pinion. And you gotta give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right parts and the right price.
Back at Scribner, Nebraska, the sun has set. Under the lights, we are ready for final round action at the Mid-America Nationals. Our first final will be in pro stock. There's a look at Billy Huff, his 9th career final. 7 of them came last year. Hard to believe this is his first of 93.
New hydraulic clutch. Now that could cost him during eliminations because I'm sure they don't have it all sorted out yet.
Let's hear from Richard Langston about his title hopes.
This is a pivotal race. We could pull ahead in the points, or we could drop behind and possibly not be able to catch up. So the winner of this race is probably going to pull a wide margin ahead of the other racers. So we're hopeful. We're certainly hopeful.
That's right, Richard. The winner of this race will almost surely move to the front in the battle for the 93 championship. Larson qualified number 4, Langston number 5. Good launch for both cars. Then it looked like Larson just dropped back a little bit. Maybe clutch troubles. Langston wins.
Langston pulls it out with a 5:27. I think that clutch did cost him. Now we're looking at the Tosti Asu Spumante in-car camera, riding down the quarter mile, reviewing that run. You can see him across the finish line.
In fact, this is Fedorovich's 3rd appearance this year, but the first time he has qualified. Great lead, though.
Pontiac Jack of 5:43, 253 miles per hour. Bob, a great leave indeed. He cut a 5:02 reaction.
Whoa. Now here comes Doug Foxworth, who's had such a star-crossed year, won the very first event of the year in Darlington, South Carolina, then crashed.
Friction can wear your engine down. Friction can shorten its life. This is Pennzoil, the friction-fighting motor oil that protects more engines than any other motor oil in America. Choose Pennzoil. Use Pennzoil, and you'll get quality engine protection in each and every drop. Pennzoil. Performance, protection, quality.
Okay, 3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. The only hairpins you're comfortable with are the ones your grandmother uses. You get white knuckles on a dime store pony. You think 55 miles an hour is quite fast enough, thank you. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
We mix. We match. and you save right inside your Walmart store. Here we custom tint 3,000 different shades of color.
At Walmart, we know paint.
So we offer a quality Glidden product for every painting job.
And we sell it for less every single day.
Get to know us for savings on paint and painting supplies, just like you know us for savings on everything else. Walmart, always the low price. Always.
A few great reasons to watch cable on Sunday night. Biff, bang, and pow! But let's not forget crunch, or oops, and aha, or the ever-popular arg, grr, or oof. Remember when NFL football was over by the end of Sunday afternoon? Not with cable. That's where it all begins. NFL football on ESPN. The winning play is always cable.
Brought to you by Hobbs Tire, Lathrop Furniture, Farmers Insurance Group, and Cable Ad.
I know now how it feels to be a vegetable in a blender.
Try it at your next racetrack. Let's take a look at some of the crashes from the past. And we've had a beauty here at the Nebraska Motorplex, specifically Scott Weiss and his alcohol funny car during last year's Night of Fire.
Talk about fire. Watch Scott Wise now as he comes down track. He has a violent engine explosion. The onboard fire extinguisher system does not do its job, may have malfunctioned slightly. And once that fire catches on with that fiberglass body, it just intensifies. Add to that the fact when the car is moving, you have that blowing effect like a bellows in a fireplace. He stopped the car. Now you can see him coming through the emergency escape hatch, jumping clear out of the way, and he was uninjured.
Waving his arms so the rescue crews could find him. Boy, it's got to be a scary moment inside one of these race cars.
Oh, you have a scratch?
No, I don't. I feel fine. I'm just a little upset about all the damage that's been done.
It didn't appear that it was mechanical. Was it something with the parachute or something like that?
I believe there was it felt like me there was a crosswind, because when I was coming about 1,100 feet, it went over left, and I corrected right, and it started to come back, and it just started rolling after that.
Tough moment, but an exciting one for Bill Lutz. This ESPN Speed World presentation has been brought to you by BF Goodrich TA Tires, when you're ready to get serious. And by Walmart, always the low price, always. If you'd like to subscribe to Drag Review, the official newspaper of the IHRA, call 1-800-554-9000. I'm Bob Barsha for Ted Jones and Brett Kepner. Thanks for being with us. So long from Scribner, Nebraska.
You're watching ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Brings forth many images. The glistening beaches of Waikiki, guarded by the stony sentinel of Diamond Head. The lush beauty of a tropical paradise, glowing in glorious contrast to the harsh volcanic origins of the islands. And wherever surrounded by the majestic power of the ocean, there are daring individuals who will confront it. For to totally tame the waves is a desire as old as the sea itself. One special breed takes this challenge at speed, finding a razor's edge of control in the fiercest machines on the water. ESPN presents the RC Cola 1993 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. The final stop on the tour, the Outrigger Hotel's Hydrofest. Sponsored by RC Cola. Race to the taste of an RC Cola. Me and my RC. O'Doul's. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. And by Budweiser. Beechwood age for that smooth taste. Proud to be your bud. It's Thunderboat action we bring you today from the historic waters of Pearl Harbor on the beautiful island of Oahu near Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha, everyone. I'm Steve Evans under some rare cloudy skies, but I think the sun will be back in the island soon. Now, today's Outrigger Hotel Hydrofest 93 is the final race on the R.C. Cola Unlimited Hydroplane Tour. And as you may know, Chip Hanauer and the Miss Budweiser boat owned by Bernie Little has already clinched the O'Doul High Point World Championship. But Jim Hendricks, that doesn't mean there's any lack of enthusiasm here. There's a heck of a race for second place important to two teams.
There is, and that, of course, is Mark Tate and the Winston Eagle. They've gone fast all year. They haven't had any luck. They're looking for their first win of the year, and they have a 461-point lead for that second place spot over the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes with Mike Hansen, the driver, and that boat's supported by the entire 13,000 people in the community on the Ohio River of Madison.
When here's the O'Doul's shootout finish. Miss Budweiser first, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes second. Winston Eagle did not start. Let's go to Jim in the pits.
Down here at the Budweiser camp, the winner of the O'Doul shootout, Chip Hanauer. Chip, looks like you were traveling a little fast for a shootout.
Well, these mean a lot to us. You know, there's a lot of money at stake, and there's also bragging rights. And, you know, a race is a race. Everybody on this beach is a racer, and if you put them in anything for a quarter, it'd be a boat race. So every time we put the Budweiser in the water, it's to win.
Bernie, you have, of course, sewed up the O'Doul's High Point Championship with Chip here and your boat and your crew, and they've done a fine job. What's the run for here in Hawaii?
Well, I think Chip just said it all. You know, first off, it's pride, and pride in our crew and our driver and what we've accomplished all year long. And then to come to the O'Doul shootout, we have to win that because, you know, that's in the family. Where are you going to get anything better than O'Doul's?
We're getting ready for more action as the boats are heading out on the course for our first heat of the day. We'll be back in a moment.
For years, you've been fed the same old line, that there are only two great tasting colas to choose from.
Hook up! Fish on! Fish on!
Hey, you don't have to swallow that. Drink RC and you'll look at colas in a whole new way.
The Gulf of Mexico, where world-class fishermen like Jim come to battle the big boys.
Jim, you got one.
Yeah, hey, this calls for a celebration. How about a cold O'Doul's?
Thanks.
Only 70 calories and non-alcohol. Because out here, you never know what's biting.
When you want the refreshing taste of beer without all the alcohol, think O'Doul's. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer.
You could find yourself in extremely compromising positions. You could become intimate with people you hardly know. Or you could watch.
Back here at Honolulu, Hawaii, getting set for Heat 1A. Look at the rain. It's starting to come in off the mountains, and we're all set to go in the Lane 1. It'll be Spirit of Hawaii with rookie Ken Dryden at the wheel. The T-Plus with Steve David will slot lane number 2. In lane 3, Mike Hansen and the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Lane 4, the other rookie in the field, Mike Ekrent in Oh Boy, Oh Birdo. On the outside in lane 5, Mark Evans in the American Spirit. We're all set to go, and here's the play-by-play call. Dick Crippen, get him to the line.
Thank you very much, Jim. As we look, we see 5 boats coming down. The Spirit of Hawaii trailing back in the mist there, the mist of the Rooster Tails. Lane number 2, your lead boat is the Miss T-Plus Stephen David out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's being challenged on the outside by the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. We saw that the Kellogg's very strong in the O'Doul shootout, now challenging for the lead against the T-Plus. A great shot inside from our onboard camera of the T-Plus and what Stephen David sees.
Well, in addition to the rain on his canopy, Steve David sees the Kellogg's boat take the lead here at Heat 1A. That is not good news for Steve Woomer and the Winston Eagle crew. They don't want that boat to make any points. boat. Mike Hansen doing everything that's asked of him to try to overtake the Winston Eagle for second in the points.
And as the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes comes out of the final turn, he looks up to the starting tower and he sees the checkered flag. The winner of the race, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. He won in San Diego. He wins the first race here in Hawaii today. A great moment for Mike Hansen. Second place off to Steve David in the T+. So here's your finish. First place is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, followed by Miss T+, then the American Spirit in third, Spirit of Hawaii in fourth. Oh boy, Alberto did not finish.
Down here with Mike Hansen. Now, Mike, there's points for qualifying, so he lost some ground in qualifying the last couple of days. But with this 400 points here, you're darn near within 100 points of striking distance of second place.
Yeah, Winston's started this race 500 points ahead. You're correct there. We got to try to catch him somehow. It's going to be hard to do it on a race course, especially when you don't even draw them. So hopefully they'll run into some mishaps and give us a break as long as we run consistent and end up getting first place as the Kellogg's just did. It'll be great for us.
As Chip Hanauer gets ready for Heat 1B, let's go to Steve Montgomery with second place.
Steve David in the miss up. Is he going to hold it in there? The Tide boat takes it, but just by about half a boat length over the Winston Eagle. A great finish in Heat 1B. Miss Budweiser, the Tide, Winston Eagle, Kauai, Aloha, and Miss Sprint. That's the order of finish.
Chip Hanauer came back, asked how fast he went, just got word a new course record for 3 laps, 158 plus. Looked like a pretty good boat ride.
Really good boat ride. And the boat ride's only a reflection of the people. You know, they've just given me a great boat this weekend, and I just hope it stays that way through the day.
Captain of the Enterprise, I think he had as much fun watching Jerry Hopp and his wife Caroline as she did riding. And later, Jim talked to the Admiral.
We're with Admiral Bob Kelly, Commander of the Pacific Fleet. And Admiral Kelly, you've been very involved in this last 4 years.
I have, and it's a pleasure to have you here again. This event is growing every year. It means an awful lot to the community to bring the military and the civilians together out here.
I understand that you're retiring very shortly, but you're going to have a replacement that also likes unlimited hydroplane racing.
I've talked to him a lot about this, and I'm pretty confident that he's going to continue in the same tradition.
Remain a fan when you become a civilian.
Oh, I plan on being a groupie.
Well, we hope you're groupies too, because we've got more action coming up. This is the last stop of the RC Cola Unlimited Hydroplane Series, the Outrigger Hotel's Hydrofest. More in a moment.
Someone very special is on that train. That's why you're driving a Buick LeSabre. You love its powerful V6 engine, anti-lock brakes, and steel safety cage body unit. But you bought LeSabre for the dual airbags, one for you and one for that very special person who sits next to you. LeSabre from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
Some people are naturally faster than others. In fact, everything they do is fast. Fast, 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 fast. Now, not everyone appreciates that. But if you're looking to get a new GM car or truck financed, fast is exactly what you want.
Mac will take care of your financing.
And the folks who arrange GMAC financing and leasing are faster than just about anyone else. GMAC, the expressway home.
You forgot your sunglasses.
Do you dream in color? In bottomless blues and screaming yellows? In sounds that shake you to the bottom of your heart? In images clear as crystal and brilliant as ice? In faraway worlds as close as your fingertips? These are what dreams and Sony Trinitron televisions are made of. Make one come true for you. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
You know, winning a Super Bowl is great, but now I'm winning with Interstate batteries.
We won the ultimate NASCAR race.
We won the Daytona 500. Get an Interstate battery wherever you see this sign. We check them before you buy them. For fresh power, guaranteed.
Big Monday. The Virginia Cavaliers try to slam dunk Rolly Massimino and the Runnin' Rebels. Watch it. College Hoops. Monday at midnight, only on ESPN.
Now let's take an inside look at unlimited hydroplane racing with the T+ Performance Corner.
Hi, I'm Steve David, and welcome to the T+ Performance Corner. I'm relaxing right now and just kind of enjoying the day, but when I'm not doing this and in the race boat, it's a whole different story because of something called G-force. Take a look at the video and I'll show you what I mean. As you see, we're getting thrown around in the cockpit, and even though we're strapped in a 6-point harness, strapped strapped as tight as you can possibly be. We're still getting thrown around because of that thing called G-force. And G-force is gravity, and it's multiplied when we go into a turn. You'll see my head kind of slam against the right side of that headrest. That's about 4 Gs, because I'm entering the turn right now at about 215 miles an hour. Although the pedal's wide open, it deaccelerates to something in the order of about 160 miles an hour.
You have cool air.
As we complete lap number 1, it's the Tide in front with at an average speed 143.308. Just a couple of miles an hour slower than that. In second place, you look to the left of your screen, is Payless American Spirit, checked in at 141.1.
It looks like the Tide boat is having just a great day. There seems to be no problem at all with that boat. Nate Brown looking at the speedometer and checking out all of his gauges as he is now in the lead and in command. He wants to know what's left in that boat, whether he's got extra power. He had a challenge early on from the American Spirit. This boat, Mark Evans, who's riding still in second place. Now he knows Mark Evans may have some more power left. He may be pacing himself. So Nate Brown is going to try to keep himself in position where he can get a little bit more out of the Tide boat, so he'll finish in first place.
As they come down now to complete lap number 2, there is a definite lead by the Tide by about 8 boat lengths over the second place, Payless American Spirit. And our third place boat at the time is Oh Boy Alberto with Mike Egret.
You know, the boat was handling great and everything else, and I said on the radio, I'm going to leg it down the last stretch, because I was backed off, you know, and as soon as I did that, dang, if a dang thing didn't just go...
You could hear the shaft. I guess it was the shaft.
Oh, yeah, what a terrible feeling, you know. Up and down the pits here, we all have our mimic of a prop shaft going, you know, and the best one, though, is Harvey. He does it really good. It's...
But can you fix it?
We're going to try. You know, we're always going to try to fix anything that's broken, you know, so who knows?
Okay, hope to see you the next heat.
Thanks a lot.
Well, with that vivid description of what happens when a drive shaft lets go, we'll let go here for just a few moments from Honolulu, Hawaii, but we'll be back with Heat 2B. Don't you go.
The Lincoln Mark 8's revolutionary suspension automatically lowers the car at high speeds for better handling and less wind resistance, which raises the bar for everyone else. The Lincoln Mark 8. Drive everything else first.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Zip. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French. I like to.
Judy.
Who's attractive?
Pete, Lee, Judy. The Mod Squad. Okay, Ginger. Or Mary Ann?
Ginger wasn't in.
Mary Ann. Mary Ann. Or Jean.
Beechwood Ace Budweiser.
Cheers.
True classic.
ESPN's Bowling Guide. The thrifty car rental bowl week rolls on. California stakes a claim against Iowa tonight at 9:30 Eastern in the Builders Square Alamo Bowl. Remember, bowling's fun.
There's a true festival atmosphere. Traditional native dances, rides for the kids. It's going on everywhere you look. A wonderful time. And right now, though, all eyes will be on the water. Heat 2B.
Budweiser, lane 1. Kellogg's, lane 2. T-Plus, lane 3. Winston Eagle on the outside. So, the Kellogg's and Winston now go head-to-head in that battle for second place in the O'Duals Championships.
But it is the two boats in the center of the field, lanes 2 and 3, that are battling it out. The Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and the Miss T-Plus. And Kellogg's Frosted Flakes in lane number 2 is trying to take the lead over both the Miss Budweiser and the Miss T-Plus. Inside the T-Plus, you can see off to the left the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes in the lead. They come down to the back stretch. It is a 3-boat race. They are side by side.
Mike Hansen trying to make it 2 heat victories in a row, continuing to pile up points. I think he has the tiger in the tank today in that Kellogg's boat, Jim.
The Kellogg's boat is running good, Steve, but look at the T-Plus. He's also running well. You've got him 1, 2, 3. Budweiser in lane 1. On his hip in lane 2 is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. And the T-Plus on the outside, watch him pop right out of the picture. We've got a battle.
It's an amazing story because Chip Hanauer has said all year long that he has been threatened by the other boats. He said he has good competition out there, although he has dominated. Well, for the first time, he really does have some competition. Miss Budweiser has dominated this field, but wait a minute, he's going down. Miss Budweiser has gone dead in the water. She's trying to get off right now. Chip Hanauer, as we look at the onboard camera, water coming up over the cockpit indicates the boat is going dead in the water. So your new leader from Madison, Indiana, Mike Hansen, in the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. What a break. Chip Hanauer dead in the water in the Miss Budweiser.
This is a bad break for Hanauer and the Winston Eagle boat. Mark Tate was trailing the field, hoping at least that the winning points wouldn't go to that Kellogg's boat. It appears now that they might.
Well, he's still got competition on the outside. The Miss T Plus is trying to close them down. That's Steve David of Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the T Plus. But here's the boat he's trying to catch. That is the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes out of Madison, Indiana. There's the checkered flag. Mike Hansen takes his second win of the day. Steve David in second place.
Surprises of our visit to Hawaii was the discovery that the gorgeous island of Kauai, severely damaged by Hurricane Iniki just 13 months ago, has rebounded to once again become a living picture postcard. Throughout this paradise, natural wonders beckon, from mysterious mountain waterfalls to the privacy of a secluded beach. And at every turn of this Pacific wonderland, luxury blends with nature to offer an unforgettable slice of native life. The Hawaiian Islands are a memory waiting to be captured, and Kauai is beckoning to all who yearn for a slice of heaven with the horizon. Our thanks to Island Helicopters of Kauai for those lovely shots. Kauai is open for business, folks, and we'll be right back with Heat 3B and some luau action.
You hoped he would fly forever, that he would continue to soar, for Michael Jordan accomplished what others could not.
This is the greatest performance ever.
Time and time again, he showed us things we couldn't believe and gave us moments we wouldn't forget. Now all the excitement of the Jordan career is captured in this exclusive collection from Sports Illustrated, the Michael Jordan Thrill Pack. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, where millions of readers joined Michael on his amazing adventure. Call this toll-free number now and get your free collector special that lets you relive the thrilling moments in the career of the man who became a legend. First, you'll get Come Fly With Me 91, a video flight that takes off with a great view of Michael's early days in North Carolina. The fantastic flight continues to the NBA for the original slam and jam and excitement. Your thrill pack continues with your second free video, Michael Jordan Airtime. It's Michael at the peak of his incredible talent. You go behind the scenes and stay with him everywhere as he achieves his championship dreams. At home and on the road, you'll get a feel for what it's like to be Michael Jordan Superstar.
Back in the building!
Your free thrill pack also includes this collector's edition of Sports Illustrated, 3 Seasons to Savor. It's full-color excitement to let you run with the Bulls during their championship years. Don't miss Michael in this dazzling collection that has all the thrills of his career in one big 3-pack thrill pack. It's available only from Sports Illustrated, the magazine that gets you into sports like no one else. Call now to subscribe or renew and get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. SI and your free thrill pack make great gifts. Don't miss your free thrill pack. Now it's the only way to fly. There is nothing in the world like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Tom, Mary, on behalf of myself and everyone here, I want to wish you both all the health, love,
The
and
champagne's not Corbel.
that you'd expect when a cheap, no-good womanizer marries a gold-digging flirt. I give the whole thing 2 months.
Corbel, for people who know champagne.
Ramil Robinson, 1989, Michigan Seton Hall. About to hit the game-winning free throw with no time left. And he makes it look... He just...
Get in there!
He just... Dang it! Little help? Son of a... Come on! And he makes it look this easy. Of course, it was harder for him with all the screaming fans and the pressure.
How do you impress a group of individuals who consider today's technology to be yesterday's news? Demonstrate the freedom of wireless business communications, and they'll tell you they've read about it. Show how you can go anywhere in your workplace and never miss a call, and they'll tell you they've heard about it. So how do you impress the world's top information executives? Tell them something they don't know. Tell them that this wireless business communications technology came from Northern Telecom.
Big Monday. The Virginia Cavaliers try to slam dunk Rollie Massimino and the Runnin' Rebels. Watch it. College Hoops. Monday at midnight, only on ESPN.
Chance to the Oh Boy Alberto Miss Sprint and the Kauai Aloha.
The drivers of two of the boats in this last chance heat, Jerry Hopp and Mike Jones, joined a group who visited a luau at Paradise Cove, where they were entertained by native performers under the palm trees, enjoyed a breathtaking sunset, thrilled to the classic beauty of the hula dance, and sampled some superb island cooking. Soon after, they were taken on a whirlwind tour of the Pacific Islands, where they experienced a variety of cultural traditions, both graceful and exotic. Speaking of graceful, to cap off the evening, Jerry Hopp performed the Hydro Hula.
You going to be okay to drive tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm going to have to calm down quite a bit. I just had the toughest 3 laps I've ever gotten.
Well, he probably wishes he had 3 laps in this last chance heat because he was unable to even make the start in this one. Mike Ekrit in the Oh Boy Alberto was the winner. That boat will now advance to the final today, and we'll be having that race coming up momentarily. And it's got a couple of wins under its belt. And, of course, don't forget, that was the boat that won in San Diego. Still in second place. Remember, we told you, Chip Hanauer not used to coming in from the 4th lane. He has got second place to this boat. Steve David, who had the position set up for him. He was in lane number 1 on the pole. He's coming around for the checkered flag. Steve David apparently ready to take this race from start to finish, and he does. Well, this is something to talk about. Steve David wins the first race of the year in Louisville, Texas. Now comes to Honolulu and wins the last race of the year. It has been a day for Steve to remember.
And he won it in a world record time for a 12.5-mile race, 154.025 miles per hour. It's official. The Kellogg's boat will go down in the books as second in points. Mark Tate in the Winston Eagle will have to settle for third. All in all, one of the best finals of the day, right?
Yeah, well, no, we had a heck of a battle all day long, and you got to give credit to Kellogg's. They were running great, but what they did was allow us to kind of fine-tune coming into the final. I thought we had the stuff we needed to win, and this crew, thank you, and T Plus Engine Treatment gave us the funding to make it happen.
In Dallas, the first race of the season, here in Honolulu, the final race, and the big news is they really served notice they're going to be a contender next season.
And Steve Evans, we had a race within a race, as you called it on radio.
Yeah, we sure did, and what spice it added. Mike Hansen playing it cool. He didn't have the best start, but he hung right in there. Mark Tate trying to do the best he could with what he had, came up a little bit short. Great race.
And on behalf of Dick Griffin, Steve Evans, Steve Montgomery, I'm Jim Hendrick. Until next year, aloha.
The Outrigger Hotel's Hydrofest was sponsored by RC Cola. Race to the taste of RC Cola. Me and my RC. By T Plus, beat the daily grind. Use T Plus, the engine treatment with DuPont Teflon. And by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that smooth taste. Proud to be your Bud. A promotional consideration has been provided by Outrigger Hotels Hawaii, Hawaii's largest and most diverse hotel chain. We've got a hotel that's just for you, no matter what kind of vacation or business trip you have in mind. And by Hawaiian Airlines. For your next trip to paradise, make it Hawaiian Airlines with daily flights from L.A., San Francisco, and Seattle, plus inter-island flights. Nobody knows the island skies like Hawaiian Airlines. This event has been sanctioned by the American Powerboat Association. This has been a production of Diamond P Sports in association with ESPN.
You're watching ESPN, the Total Sports Network.